everyone, welcome to Demo 6. Today we'll be going over deployment. Something that's going to be different this semester is that we'll be using Heroku. And so we will not be using Docker Compose and we will not be SSHing into servers unlike previous semesters because we weren't able to get you guys Google Cloud credits on time. Sorry about that. But actually this is a lot simpler, so you might enjoy doing this more. And it's also still relevant to industry, and you can start up whatever backend project you'd like on your own after this because it's free. So speaking of free, let's sign up for a free account on Heroku. But since I've already created an account, I can just log in. So I will do that right now. Great, and as you can see, I have two apps here. So this is one I've already created, and this is the one that I will be showing you guys today. So I will be starting a new app from scratch. So this was me testing things out, but if I click on Open App, it'll take me to this link. And so this is actually Demo 4, and we can test it out. So if you notice, the URL is no longer localhost. It's whatever my app name is, so it's just my name, Demo, with the Heroku app name, and I can click on Get Tasks, and you can see that that works. We can also create a task, so blah blah, and I can post, that works, and then I can also get a specific task, and I can change this and get another task. So all of this works. So the goal of this demo video is to help you get your app to be publicly accessible at not just, your local computer, but, to everybody using your app, and iOS devs and Android devs, all that. All right, so let's get rid of Postman for now, and let's get started with Heroku. So another thing you guys need to do is go to the Heroku CLI Center. I will link all of the necessary links you need, so don't worry about, getting this link down, but you need to install the Heroku CLI. So this is for Mac. If you have Brew already, I think all Mac users have Brew, you can just run this command, and for Windows, you can install this. You don't need a VM for this, so this is great for those who suffered during PA5 with Docker, no longer for Heroku. So Heroku CLI is this interactive kind of interface that lets you push images to a container registry, the Heroku container registry, and there they will be running your images as a container. So instead of us, SSHing into a server and deploying our images after we've pulled from Docker Hub, we're just going to be directly pushing our Docker files to this container registry. So we've simplified things a lot more, so I still recommend that you guys watch the Lecture 6 video if you want to be a great backend developer. Alright, so let's get started. So here I've opened up my app.py from Demo 4, but we're going to do some slight modifications. So instead of this main file, so actually let me zoom in so you guys can see this better. So instead of this main, we need to update this to something like this. So the reason being is that you won't be able to define your ports because Heroku doesn't let you upload a Docker Compose file to their container registry. They only let you directly upload Docker files. And so the issue with that, if you remembered from the last demo video, is that our ports aren't going to be exposed. So our port is 5000, and that's where our endpoints are able to be exposed and able to be hit at. But when we put this onto Heroku, this will change. It won't necessarily be port 5000. It's to whatever Heroku decides it is. So we need to extract the port that this app will be running on when we deploy onto Heroku. So it's just this. Now, os.environ.get, so this is saying from my environment, from my operating system. For Heroku, we're not sure what that is, but your operating system will give you a port. But we're just going to say set by default is 5000. And so we need to import what this OS thing is. And again, it stands for operating system, but I'm just going to import OS here. Okay. And So now that we've gotten the port that Heroku will be running our app on, we need to update this value. And then let's just get rid of debug equals true because we are building a production image. Okay, that's slightly annoying. Okay, so now that we've modified our app properly so that it can be accessible when we push our Docker file, let's get rid of this for now. And then let's go into the terminal. So let me pull that up. Okay, so first things first, let's see if I'm logged into Docker. And let me zoom in actually. So, okay, so it says login succeeded, awesome. And then let's run Heroku to see that I have installed the Heroku CLI, or I can log in. So I'm going to run Heroku login now, and this is just like following the instructions. This is opening up another tab for me. Oops. And then I just click login here. You can just follow the steps as well. And then it says I'm logged in. So that's great. Okay. Now that I've logged in, we need to navigate to where our Docker file exists. So I'm gonna jump to our course, demos, 5 works. Okay, so I'm where the Docker file is that we created for demo 5, which is using demo 4 code. And here I want to log into the Heroku container registry. And the way that you do that is Heroku container login. Okay, so this is login succeeded. And this will only work after you've installed the CLI. So make sure you've done that. Okay, so now I'm gonna create my app. So I'm gonna do Heroku create, I'll do my NetID demo. You guys should probably make this more descriptive, like, I don't know, CMS app or like PA6 demo, or sorry, lecture 6 demo or demo 6 demo, anything you want. Just like if you just do Heroku create, it's going to create like a random name for you and it's going to be difficult to remember what it is. So I recommend just naming it. So doing Heroku create like that. So it tells me that if I push my Docker container here, it will be accessible at this link. So literally anyone, your grandma, your parents, your cousin will be able to go on this link and check out your backend app, which is super cool. All right, so now that I've created my app, let's push our Docker file to this app. So make sure that your Docker files has the right information. It's as trivial as this, which we went over the last demo. And this is how you push it. So you do Heroku container push web. You have to use web, by the way. App, and then the name of your app. So it's going to build this Docker file into an image, and then it will run this container onto that URL that I showed you earlier. It's taking some time. Okay, so while this is happening, I'm gonna show you guys something more interesting and like useful, because you guys didn't get practice for this given that we're using Heroku now. So I'm gonna actually SSH into our transit server. So if you don't know, AppDev makes an app called Transit, and it's kind of like a Google Maps except for just TCAT in the Ithaca Center. Let me copy this. Not technologically adept. Okay. So this lets me get access to some server in like New York that we're hosting using DigitalOcean. So DigitalOcean is like one of the many cloud services where you can host your servers. So like AWS is Amazon Web Service, I think. We have Google Cloud, which, sorry, we weren't able to give you guys free credit for. We have Heroku, and DigitalOcean, of course. And here, I can show you guys, we have a Docker Compose folder, and we have a Docker Compose file. And before, we show you guys a really simple way of just putting your image here. But as you can see, we're running multiple backends or like multiple services, so different code bases. So this is like written in Node.js, this is written in Python, and you can see that a Docker Compose is used to spin up different images into multiple containers so that we can orchestrate them nicely on a server. So that is very helpful to know. Now that we have successfully pushed our container, we have to release it. So you do Heroku container release web app. Okay, so it's releasing the image. All right, so we should be able to actually access this. So we can do, I think, Heroku container open web. And this will directly open the browser. Okay, just kidding. You guys can actually go to, one second, let me pull up my Safari. Okay, so if you go to your apps, you can see that your new app has just been created. You can click on that, and then you can click on open app, and then I'll open it for you. And amazing, this is exactly what I showed you with the one I had already made. And you also don't have to go into the Heroku dashboard and click on open app. You can just straight up, so if you went to your terminal and you scrolled up, it told you where your app would be accessible at. So if you look at here, you can just click on this, copy that, and then press enter, and there you go, that's your app. And you can send this to your friends and ask them if they can see stuff, and that means that you have been successful. So now, a couple of things is that if you didn't update your app.py, this will not work. The reason being that, of course, your ports are not accessible, and the way that you can debug something going wrong is you can go to your terminal again, and you can check the logs of this Heroku container service server that you have just created. So you do Heroku logs tail app and then the name of your app. And then you can see this is exactly what we were seeing in the terminal when we were running our app locally, which is really cool actually. And you see that Heroku has their own port, which is 25355, and that's not 5000, which is why we had to update the main function of our app.py. And so yeah, your app is basically working, and that I think is all to this demo. With that, I will say good luck and see you guys in the next lecture. Bye!